I am very excited to see how this looks on YouTube later. We're using the main camera now, which is going to be a little bit higher quality. I don't know how much of a difference this makes, but we'll give it a shot. I hope you can hear me as well. My name's Luke. Today we're going to talk about the loneliness epidemic, the feeling of solitude. And I think I understand why we all feel this way. You see, in a crowd of people, let's say the internet, all 8 billion people are communicating in different platforms, different accounts, and there's probably over 16 billion different accounts, whether they're bots, scammers, or just burner accounts where everyone has multiple accounts. In the world of the internet, you feel isolated because there are so many people that really aren't there for you. They're not really looking out for you. They're not really your friends. They don't know you 100%. Then you also have a crowded area. Maybe you go to a festival, and it's fun at the time. But another problem with that is you're never truly with anyone else. If you don't go with your friend group to a festival or a club, if you just go by yourself and you don't make any friends there, you're just in a crowded room of people where you get stimulated with dopamine. But outside of that, you don't feel connected to anyone. Then past that, maybe you're in a group of people. Maybe you're in a small group of 6 people, and you're all friends. You're in a friend group. But people aren't really listening to you. They're kind of making jokes between themselves, and you kind of feel like you're not getting any attention. And that's okay. You might just be a quiet guy, and maybe you're just a good listener, and maybe they don't hate you or nothing. They just genuinely, you're not the loudest one in the group, and that's all right. Every group has to have that. The problem is when you get down to 3 people, or maybe let's say 4 people, and now it's 3 people talking, and now it's just you. And then it's 2 people talking, and you're the outsider, and so it's these 2, and then you're the guy on the outside. And then then it's 2 people, and it's just you and your friend, and you just don't feel connected. Or maybe you do. I hope you do, but I don't even feel connected one-on-one with people sometimes. And my connection, I guess you could say, is really just the fact that I'm not present in the moment enough. Like I am, but I'm also thinking about it too much. I'm overthinking things. I'm thinking about, how can I further my relationship with this person? Well, it's to experience things with this person. But if I experience things with this person, I'm not really getting to know them better. We're just doing things together. My problem is I think a lot of the times, part of the problem is, I had a specific point with this. Let me get to it. We're damned if we do, and we're damned if we don't. If you isolate yourself by yourself, you feel isolated, you feel lonely. But if you're in a crowd of people, you're lonely because it's just, you're a sheep in the crowd. You're an ant in an anthill. No one around you notices you, and that's almost worse. I think part of not being able to be, feeling like you're isolated in the world is because you don't have any connections to yourself. And part of the problem is you're not making any connections. And I'm talking to you because I'm talking to myself. You're not making any connections with people because you're scared that if you let them in, then they'll just abandon you too. So if you push everyone away, that way you keep a lot of people at arm's length. Otherwise, you'll lose a couple people. I wouldn't necessarily say I'm a terrible friend, but I fear like I'm going to let people down. And if I fear I'm going to let people down, then I try to keep them away from me so at least I can be their acquaintance. I can never truly be their friend as long as I keep them just out of arm's reach, but I can keep them as an acquaintance. And that way, they don't know me enough to the point where I may screw something up. The problem with that logic is you never feel valued. Part of the problem is I'm an only child. I've been alone my whole life. I'm pretty good in isolation now. It's definitely contributed to some issues with myself, probably. I've probably made a lot of mistakes in my life, a lot of errors and a lot of social errors because of my isolation that I really have self-induced. But I've noticed people have large groups of friends, and they're doing friendsgivings and things like that, and you know, they're spending time with their family, and they have a stronger foundation with their family. They have multiple friend groups, and part of that stems from the fact that I don't have a passion. I have small passions, but they're very isolating, right? Going on a nature walk. No one else is out doing that. Going to the gym. You put your earbuds in. You don't want to hit on a girl, and bro is already with another bro, so, or he needs to be by himself too. Working out with another guy just slows both of you down, so it makes sense just to be solo for the most part. But it is good motivation. And trying to hit on a girl at the gym is just a bad idea. Don't do it. So, okay, well, what about photography? Photography is very isolating. I like taking pictures of nature, myself, and aesthetically pleasing areas. All of that you can't just do with someone else, unless I have a homie that loves photography too. But no one has that appreciation like me, or is willing to jump on that at any time. Then you got clubbing. Well, I'm not really passionate about clubbing, and from the last time I went to the club, it was so boring compared to the festival. I don't know if I'll be going to a club anytime soon. Video games, isolating. I don't have many friends that play video games, but they are definitely, for the most part, they're not doing much, which means they're not getting out of their house to come over to mine to play video games together. We might play a couple online games, maybe, sometime. So, you know, there's things like that where it feels very isolating. You know, I like watching TV and movies. If I'm not with somebody, like girlfriend, whatever, that's not really a social thing, you know? Like, I'm not really like, hey, let's come over and watch some Netflix. Also, then I'm not watching a TV show, and then it's a pointless game. My point is, my problem is I didn't find the right passions in life, the right social passions. I used to do karate, soccer, kickball even, clubs at school. Now the only thing that brings me together with anyone is work. And not exactly the best way to meet friends and other. Not when you say, oh, that's just my coworker. We can't be friends? Come on, man. For me, coworkers have been friends because it's my only way I've met people. I've been in college classes, and I met a few through there, but at the end of the day, I've been online at college. It's easier so I can do a full-time job to pay for my college, because they get expensive. So full-time job, and then do college classes online when I'm not at my job 40 hours a week. It's most time efficient. If you try to do in-person classes, then you have to live on campus, get a scholarship, pay $20,000 a year, times 4, $100,000, and do student loans for the rest of your life. Not the ideal situation. I much prefer the $12,000 online route, condensed classes. What I'm telling you is that if you have kids, or if you are younger, I'm 21 years old, I already feel like I've lost it all. I suggest the power's out. They're on emergency power on the lights. And let's run it. We are going smoothly. Everyone's treating this like a stoplight, I guess. Anyways, I don't know why they don't have cops out here yet. There we go. My point is, that was weird. You still live? Okay, perfect. You need to find a passion. And I'm still searching for mine. I do want to go exploring. I want to go on adventures. And, you know, I want to do every trail in my area. I think that's going to be fun. But, again, photography, trail, not really the best idea to find and meet people. Maybe I could join some clubs or something. Photography club in Orlando. I don't know. That requires work. Everything requires work. I understand that. But, the problem is the barrier for entry. I don't have a DSLR. I have a phone. And I love my phone, and it takes great photos. I just want to be an amateur photographer right now. I don't want to go crazy. If I get in that environment, I'm going to want the best camera ever, and then I'm going to be forking out $5K for a camera. It's not going to be fun. I would be an idiot about that. I'm just trying to see my options here. My throat hurts. I'm very excited to see the future for myself. I'm going to have a lot of freedom, being able to get away from my schooling and just be done with it. I want to go on some adventures for real, but I want to take a few people with me, you know, and part of that problem is, you know, my coworkers, they work the same hours as me, but some of them don't. Some of them are just boring, I won't lie. I love you, bro, if you're watching this, but brother, you never go outside. You always have an excuse. That's alright. I just don't like flaky people. And if I commit and I say we are hanging out and I am doing this with you, I'm not going to flake out on you. I promise. That's something that I've never done. I will tell you if something comes up. If I get sick, if I have family, that is my responsibility to be with. Responsibility and obligation, really. I have to cancel because of family. But I won't cancel you for another friend. I won't. I have some friends in my life right now that aren't necessarily the best friends. You know, it's very one-sided, and I don't like that. I'd rather isolate myself than be used like a pawn. I don't like victim mentality. Don't make me feel like your therapist and me having a responsibility and obligation to protect you from yourself. I guess I have a personality type that attracts that kind of person. And maybe that's a good thing. Maybe I'm a good person that helps out people that need help. Like I've told you before, I'm a fixer. I fix things, but I also fix people, I guess. You know, I have a good outlook on life, and I try to help out people the best I can. You know, I'm pretty good at fixing things. And maybe that carries over to helping and fixing people. I wouldn't be a very good therapist, though, because I'm impatient. I want to get things done, and I just don't want to listen to your problems for that long. I'm a very good listener, but at the end of the day, I want to fix your problem. I don't want to talk about it. I understand there's a male-female divide on that, where, a male typically would want to get this problem fixed, or a female would want to talk about a problem before it gets fixed. I understand that. That's a generalization, by the way. I hope that I find my own path. I hope that I find my niche soon, my niche of people, my group. I want a club. I want the squad. I want the homie squad. I want a community to belong to. I think part of the problem with my life is, outside of those things I listed before, I don't really have much. I don't know what other people are doing, but I certainly am not. Maybe that's because I've been priced out of it. I am not bar hopping to the fanciest restaurant in town every night after work. I'm not Harvey Specter. I'm not doing that every night. Alright, this isn't an episode of The Suits. I'm not doing all that. I'm not Mr. Gray. I'm not out here flying my helicopter to the H every night. It's not how it go. And I don't want to. I'm looking for a homebody. Maybe I don't need a lot of friends. Maybe I just need a person to spend time with. I don't know where I'll find her. I have no idea. But I just want to go on adventures with someone. Someone that has the weekends off. I've got Saturdays, I work 4 hours in the morning, and then we're free to go Saturday, Sunday. I'm off every night at 5. Plenty of time to do whatever. That's not every night, but, once, twice a week, then spend time on the weekend. That's all I want. I don't know where I'll find her. I'm not out here seeking it like a fiend, so I get that. I want someone that lives close. 10-minute, 20-minute drive tops. I don't want them to have to make a journey to see me. Long distance never works. But, we're talking a couple states away. I'm talking about 30 minutes away is not easy either. It means that there's less opportunities that we're able to spend time together. What if I wanted to hang out with you on my break? Well, I can't do that if you're 30 minutes away, but I can if you're 5. So that's important in a relationship, I think. Those small moments are so important. Someone that listens to you. Someone that really cares about you. And I could say that all of this really compounds to being in a friendship as well. Every relationship, whether it's a friendship or a relationship, you know what I mean? Has these elements. Someone that listens to you, someone that talks to you, someone that's honest with themselves and you. Unfortunately, I'm very much of a yes person, where I'm not really out here asking for it, but if someone asks me, I say yes. The problem is every time I've been asked out, a lot of people get a misconception about me. They have an idea in their head about who I am, and then once they get to know me, they find out, maybe I'm not that type of guy that they're looking for. And then they kind of fade out, or the relationship starts to crumble around us. Anyways, I hope you find your person. I hope you find your friend. And you have a good one. I'll see you.